Good evening, everybody. Today is April 1st, and I am joined here today with my lovely friend Josh. And I
Happy
don't.
April Fools, everybody.
April Fools!
Got the two biggest fools in town sitting in front of you on your screens right now.
It is lovely to have you here. I'm very grateful that you were able to take the time out of your day to make this happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you living?
I'm living in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. My name's Joshua Navis. I'm an artist. I was born in Winnipeg, grew up in California, moved there when I was one. And then I moved up here to Edmonton uh, 3 years ago to to go to University of Alberta to study fine arts. Yeah, that's kind of my backstory, I guess.
Fantastic. I can't believe it's been 3 years since you've been up there. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah, that blows
yeah.
my mind.
They say time goes by faster as it goes by. So
As it nears the end, yes. As time
yeah,
time as the end of time nears, things speed up.
yes.
Um,
One way to look at it.
so you're studying fine arts, or fine arts. Are you enjoying your studies of fine arts?
Yeah. I mean, I don't fine arts. Um, I think I think you can study art without being at a school. Um,
I'm with you there.
However, I am in school, but I am also studying it outside of school because I do things inside of class and outside of class. I do things for school and I do things that are not for school, that are just for fun. and Yeah, I'm really enjoying my studies overall. Um, yeah, it's not easy, but yeah, it's I
It's still
think it's
school.
better than what's that?
I said it's still school. Like it's still going to school when you got to go to school, but I mean you're learning stuff that you care about, so that's what's up, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and it's a lot, to me it's a lot better than like I don't know doing math or like any boring shit like that.
For sure. Yeah, I'm glad that you're able to
Yeah.
follow your passions. So that's awesome.
Can I
That's
say
awesome.
are, are we G rated or can we say shit?
You can say whatever the fuck you want. It does not
Okay.
matter. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going to say that this video is not meant for kids because I'm sure, as you and I know, I was swearing by the time I was 8. So, any parents out there, your kids are already cussing and they're already talking about boobs and dicks. So, just so they're all familiar with the fact that they already know. Um,
That's kind of
what was that?
that's kind of true. I mean, especially with like the access to technology that kids have nowadays. Like
Definitely.
you can just Google anything.
Yeah, and the second that you hear boobs or you hear like, oh, I started my period, a guy is gonna be like, what does that look like? And then they'll be like, oh, what the hell? Like, that's what that is. Okay. Um. So like, it's definitely the age of technology and information. You can view
Definitely.
it at any time. Um. So overall, how are you liking Canada?
I mean, Alberta, Edmonton, Alberta. It's a nice city. It's got well, I feel like I haven't really been able to truly experience it because I I was only up here for the school year for my first year. Went back to California for the summer, and then came back up here for second year. Was in school, and then worked all summer pretty much, and that's right when COVID started happening, and yeah, I was in a situation where I had to just like where I just didn't see anyone for a long time, and
Yeah.
now I'm still kind of recovering from that actually, but I because of all of that, I feel like I haven't been able to truly experience the city with all the things that usually go on here. But I
So
like Canada. Yeah, I like Canada a lot.
Canada definitely seems like an interesting place. It's caught my eye a few times. I've thought about moving up there. I was looking into what it would take to move up there, and for somebody who doesn't have what it's called bipartisan citizen by yeah by citizenship, where you can move in between different countries, like
Mhm.
I'd have to own property up there for 5 years, and I'm like, okay, that's a huge transition. Got to think about that one a lot. How are you feeling about things like COVID restrictions up there? How restrictive are they?
Um, well, I'd say where I'm at least, it was pretty restricted for a while. Like, still, even like you have to wear a mask to go into any store. There's only like one store I go to that doesn't make me wear a mask, and it's like a smoke shop. It's
Yeah.
like funny. But yeah, other than that, like there's been a lot of restrictions of like $1,000 fines if you were gathering over 10 people.
Really?
Um,
And
I
that's
haven't been able to. I have family here, but like I haven't really been able to see them just because of all of the restrictions and fear and anxiety surrounding the whole situation. Um, yeah, I yeah.
yeah, no, I get it. Like, yeah, that's rough. That's hard. So keeping a lot of those types of things in mind, is Canada a place that people should be looking at? Like, should people be looking to move to Canada? Lots of people from California are looking to get out of California and move somewhere else. Texas is the big place right now. But is Canada something that people should be looking to move to?
I mean, yeah, it's seriously, yeah, come on up here. It's fucking cold as fuck. Um, and yeah,
So you are
when
an advocate for the Canadian lifestyle. People should move to Canada. It seems like a great place full of pretty good people.
I say move wherever you want. You know, like I think it's kind of dumb that there's all these restrictions on where you should and shouldn't be able to go, and I feel like you should be able to travel wherever you want to travel. So I say, yeah. I mean, that is an interesting topic though, because it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna travel right into your house then, you know,
Pretty much,
so
yeah.
right into your home. So that is a really interesting topic, but I don't know. I like I'm an explorer, right? Like I like to explore. I like to adventure. I like to go check out what's around me, and I'd just say like, yeah, if you haven't been to Canada, you should definitely come and experience it. Come during winter, and yeah,
That's some
experience
good
it.
advice. That's some good advice. Yeah, it's a good time to
Yeah,
go because from what I've seen through your videos and whatnot, like it gets cold.
yeah, and honestly, if you have the like growing up in California, coming here to live like throughout. I never had winter. Like you don't have winter in California.
No.
Uh, Here it's like it gets to be like -40, and when it's like -40, it doesn't matter if it's Fahrenheit or Celsius. Actually, I think they sync up at around -40. Um, but yeah,
So it's just cold
that's
as
so
fuck.
cold.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
you will die out there. So,
All right, all right.
but when you come from somewhere so nice, where the weather's so nice all the time, to somewhere where there's harsh winters, you realize that people get really sad during the winters, and you try to be that light. I think at least I tried to be that light for other people during the winters, because like they've been dealing with this their whole life, but I haven't. So
Well, good for
yeah.
you. Shows character. Do you miss the summers in California? Do you miss the heat? I mean, last summer it was like I was working out at Ween's and it was or Ween's Winery, and it was like 115, 120 some days, and it was just so fucking hot out in the field. Like, do you miss the heat?
Definitely not. I'd say cold is better than heat, but Yeah, they're just different. It's like red or blue. Which one's better? Like cold or hot?
I see.
Left.
Okay. Yeah, they're just opposite sides of the spectrum. They're both needed.
Yeah.
Speaking
I'd say
of
I'd say winters are probably worse than summers because like summers you could just like you know I don't know, you got to stay hydrated, you got to stay shaded, you got to you know all that sort of stuff. But like winters are like yeah, you can dehydrate yourself in summers, but like winters like you can freeze to death if you don't have the proper like insulation. Um and you can like slip and crash your car on the ice and uh
those types of
yeah,
dangers, yeah, absolutely. How
icicles could fall on you.
how do people who are in less developed areas or who are experiencing homelessness deal with some of those harsh winters? Do you know anything about that? Because that just kind of sparked that in my head. I'm a little curious.
Yeah, that's actually a huge issue. um I can only imagine like I'll be out there in winter just like walking, um and I'll see people just like on the street and just like in jackets, blankets, bundled up, or even in the subway system, like just trying to get warm wherever they can get warm, and
Yeah.
it's really sad. Um, to me, like it blows my mind with the amount of empty buildings that we have sitting around that we have people that aren't able to get into somewhere warm on days like that. It just shows like the lack of compassion that society has for others.
How have businesses been doing during this weird time of COVID times? Because I'd imagine that it's like California where businesses are just shutting their doors left and right.
Yeah, I mean, there's new businesses opening every day,
Okay,
um,
fair.
in a lot of places. You know, yeah, there's a lot of businesses that are being shut down, and most of those places are family-owned small businesses, and places like big chain corporations are opening new branches of whatever it is everywhere all the time. So
Are you noticing anything about that though? Like, are there more Walmarts and Targets and like Ralphs? I don't know if you have Ralphs up there, but like, are there more things like that opening up?
yeah,
Or
the Safeway, like the Safeway just down the block, they got like a huge upgrade. Like they got these huge, massive glass doors. Like it looks like straight out of the Jetsons. Like, yeah,
yeah, okay, so we're seeing the rich get a little bit richer, and the people who have just tried to get their feet in the doors are kind of being pushed out, which
the
is
grocery store. The grocery store just got a major upgrade.
okay. I mean,
Like,
yeah, they get products thrown off their shelves left and right because people are buying
hey,
food
I'm
like
guilty.
crazy.
Like, don't, I don't grow my own food. Not yet. Like, I've been so, I've been so disconnected with that sort of knowledge and how useful that is that like I haven't yet. Well, not like they recognize that I need to, but still, there's a lot of things I need to change about my life in order to be able to actually care for a plant without killing it.
For sure, you got to care for yourself before you can care for others. And right now, I mean, I'd imagine just like the solidarity, it's getting to everybody. It's getting to me. I mean, I'm in this place alone, and it sucks. All I'm trying to do is find people to hang out with. I love chatting with you, but like like it's being alone that's really hard.
Yeah,
So, do you recommend everybody should start a garden? Should we start a garden club, a multinational garden club?
I think everyone should have their own garden. Yes,
I do too. That is definitely something that I advocate for. Um,
and you could.
I have loved my time working with plants over at Eco Culture Farms. I loved my time, growing things like pink oyster mushrooms and whatnot here. Like it's growing a different form of life is such a beautiful thing. It's nowhere near what I would imagine having a kid is like, but it's like that simulation of caring for another thing that is not yourself that you can watch grow and develop over time. That turns
That's
into
man,
something
that's
beautiful.
exactly how I feel about my artwork. It's like they're my children, you know. Like I have all these paintings and sculptures, and like I I need to find homes for them. Like I need to take care of them. I need to protect them, and I need to not let anyone. I don't know.
Don't fuck with your art, is what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. It's like my children. It's your creation. It's my creation. You know, it is.
Do you happen to have anything that you would like to show people? Anything that you're very passionate about or that you've been working
Um,
on? Your
a
shirts?
t-shirt. A t-shirt I made.
Lovely,
It's a
lovely
painting
shirt.
I put on a shirt. There's a painting there. There's Dave. There's Josh. I'm drawing right now. Just some little patterns.
I like your pentagram in the middle there.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from. It just came. You know, when we were talking about society, I just was thinking. You ever played the game Doom?
I have played a few of the Doom games. It's been out of my
Yeah. So
my arsenal for a little bit, but I've seen
yeah,
videos on it. It looks amazing.
you know how there's like pentagrams and stuff everywhere, and there's like these huge buildings and corporations. That's just kind of sometimes like the way that I look at in like through the doomer lens when
So,
you're talking.
yeah, most certainly. I see that same type of shit going on here. I'm just like, man, I'm watching this become like dystopian. Kind of like, like George Orwell was writing about, as well as like just like,
Georgia, right?
yeah,
About more than one.
lovely, lovely artist. Sadly, he's no longer with us, but his work will definitely live on, hopefully for forever, because he has made some pretty amazing work. So, how's the culture like in Canada? Do you like the culture around you? I mean, we'll try to keep masking a minor topic because you've said your piece there, but like, is the culture pretty masky, or is it like pretty balanced, or do you see a lot of people, at least when they're walking outside and not in businesses, not wearing masks, or is it pretty much everybody's in a mask?
Well, I think at first I think it's funny that that's the way that you are asking me how the culture is here. It was like, how's the culture? Do they wear masks or do they not wear masks?
It's a hot
And
topic for right now, but we'll get into other cultural aspects in a sec.
yeah, definitely don't see anybody rebelling against the system. Really, a lot of people here like to follow the rules, and yeah, I don't really know what to say to that. Like, I don't know. I'm a natural rebel. Like, you tell me to do one thing, I will do you know, like fuck you. Don't tell me what to do.
Same here,
You
same
know?
here. You know that. What about
Yeah.
things like religion? Like for Temecula, where I live, like we're rather Christian and Catholic. There's a lot of that kind of culture around Temecula, California. Is there any major religions that play a part in day to day life and the people that you know, or just in conversations that you overhear?
Well, yeah. When I moved over here, I met a lot more Muslim people and um, Sikh. I don't. I think that's Hinduism. I'm not exactly sure. But there's a lot more people. There's a lot more Eastern people from Eastern countries and India, and there's a lot of diversity in this city. Like I didn't like when I moved here, I met people from Africa, India, Pakistan, Egypt, Dubai, um, First Nations people. Like I met a lot of people. Like whereas of like growing up in California, going through the public school system, it was mostly like white kids, Mexican kids, a couple black kids,
Yeah.
and like some Asian kids. You know, like I guess is that how
Yeah,
I
no,
define
that's
culture?
that's a
But
fantastic answer. I mean, it sounds like I know America, especially California, prides itself on its diversity, but as you said in moving to Canada, who I mean is a diverse country, but doesn't pride themselves on it. Like there's more diversity in Canada than there is in at least my local region of
yeah.
California.
So I'd say, but also to be noted is like Alberta just released their K whatever curriculum for like the
So like the
school
K through
system.
12.
Yeah, and or K through 12, 6 through 12 or something like that. And they said they were going to be teaching Christianity and the Holy Trinity. And there was just like a bunch of problematic stuff, and like a bunch of people were
And this is in
like,
public schools.
yeah, a bunch of people were really upset online about the curriculum. And to which my response is, uh, it's amazing how much of history is lies.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, they're like, oh, now they're brainwashing kids. It's like, no, we've been brainwashed. Like, also, they've always been brainwashing everyone.
When were we not brainwashed? It's just pretty prominent and everybody's kind of opening their eyes. Few people are. And,
Yeah,
we're getting together and we're like, whoa, yeah, brainwashing is real. Like MK Ultra, that was already written about. Like that's not a fake document. It's hundreds of pages long and you can read it too. They did that shit.
yeah, MK Ultra. My homies have a podcast, and they were talking about MK Ultra. My friend Mahad that I met outside of the library at U of A. Uh, he invited me to join his podcast, listening to it, and they were talking about MK Ultra, then JFK, assassination, and they played the video, and
That
they were talking about the conspiracy between like with the car, and
with that agent who jumped on JFK's back and there's a bullet hole
well,
in
if you
his
look in the
back.
video, the car is super weird. Like the car is super whack.
Yeah.
The car is like a six-person. Oh wait, actually, this is the thing. It's like, how do you remember the video? Like, I already said it, so I kind of spoiled it. But some people remember the car as like a four-person car, which makes sense. Most cars are four people cars.
Mhm.
This car had like a sixth person in it or something, and so alluding to like this idea that there's like an alternate reality where JFK didn't get assassinated and like the shot missed. Um, so we got like, but then shit like went south because of that. So um, we we had to go back in time or some shit and to change to a different dimension where there was like a special car made that was like a little longer so that the shot would line up. And yeah,
Interesting stuff. Yeah, those topics always interest me, definitely. One of the biggest things about that conspiracy in particular is that there is a bunch of Secret Service agents. They're all wearing the same outfit. It's the black suit with a top hat, and they've got glasses on. There's one dude who's just looking at JFK the whole time. He's on the radio for most of the times he's on video. Bless you. He's got a striped suit on and no top hat with no glasses. And I'm like, that is weird because there's this guy singled out who's like chatting with people, and then JFK gets shot. It seems like he was definitely at least there to do something, and he was, clearly the odd man out of the Secret Service that was surrounding him trying to protect him. He was dressed different. He was acting different. He was looking in a different way than all the other Secret Service agents. Just weird stuff about that conspiracy theory. I definitely don't think that it was the story we were told, but I don't know which of the side stories that we kind of conspiracized over is true. It's just that story
Yeah,
that we were told is not the real one. So on that,
of
how do you
course.
feel about something like 9/11? Because I definitely think that was an inside job.
Sorry, I was just getting a call. Yeah, personally, like, I like to, you know, I'm an artist. Like, what does it matter to me whether or not, you know, I don't know.
It's a form of
Fucking,
expression. I mean,
you
when
know, okay, so I like to see both perspectives. I like to say I'd be able to understand, yes, it did happen. It was real, an act of terror by two people who hijacked the plane or some shit. Or the other view of like, nah, it was an inside job. So I can see both sides. I don't know what's true. I wasn't there.
sure, I was
You
very
know,
young. You and I were both very young during that
yeah.
time.
So I don't know, but I can see both sides of things, and I think it helps to be able to see both sides of things sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could see why terrorists would want to do that, but at the same time, we're talking about three of the areas, well, four really, because, I mean, there were two buildings that went down, then there was Building 7 that fell and nobody talked about for a long time, and then there was also the Pentagon that was hit the same day, and apparently there was only two planes that were hijacked, and each of those areas were areas where there was really highly classified information that was stored. And I don't know why the terrorists would want to blow up the information rather than cause cyber warfare and siphon it and steal it and then give it to the world. That makes more sense to me. If I was a terrorist, I would want to take the information and spread it when you know there's misdoings rather than hide it for them. But I digress.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know. I'm not really following.
I digress from that. So, as an artist, what do you wish people saw more of? What is your message that you want to share with people?
Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Listen to your fucking heart. What is your heart saying right now? Just take a moment of silence. Just what's the next thing your heart is telling you to do? Follow it. Do it.
That's some
That's
wonderful
what
advice.
yes.
People don't listen to their internals enough. They think that their brain is the source of all of their information. They don't listen to their guts when they're eating. They don't listen to their heart when they're feeling. They don't listen to much of their other body parts. We're just told the brain is where you learn from.
There's actually like I think it was a book released by some scientist. I don't know who, but basically describing and backing up the theory that the heart is a vortex, not a pump, like how is theorized, the pump that fuels the blood system, but more of a vortex that is being it's going in and out, and it's contracting and uh, retracting based on our body and the movements of our body.
That makes sense because, I mean, when you're moving more, you're pumping harder, you're pumping more. So it's a reactive system off of your actions rather than just
Mm-hmm.
something that pumps on its own and knows what it's doing itself. Both of us are not doctors on this, but that is a very interesting point to bring up of it being a vortex and having a paper to back it up. Hopefully, I'll be able to find that so that way I can post the link to it
Yeah,
and post. But yeah, very interesting. So,
thank you.
of course, So, Canada, great place, full of good people. Struggling a little bit economically, it sounds like. It is, from what you've shown or said, it's a little bit more diverse, at least in your area, than the area that we grew up. So if you're looking for an area of diversity, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Yeah? Or not?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I don't know. Edmonton's like a big oil place. Like
Mm.
that's where most of the money comes from. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I came here to learn and grow. I think it's a good place to come to learn and grow. Um, uh, yeah, I think I'm more of a traveler, so I don't really like to spend too much time in one place. So I'm looking to check out somewhere new soon.
Expand your
But yeah,
horizons, definitely.
check out. Yeah.
Where do you think you're moving on to next then? Have you given that much thought, or you just know that you're done with where you are now?
Oh yeah. There's definitely other places in Canada like Vancouver and Toronto and BC. I want to check out. Um, Quebec. I really want to go to Montreal. And yeah, I want to explore. I want to travel to those places in Canada, and then there's also a lot of places in the states that I want to travel to. I definitely want to hitchhike like David Cho because he's a badass.
We were talking
And
about him earlier. He sounds great.
yes,
I like his pizza man stuff he's got going on. That's some
David
awesome
Cho is
stuff.
awesome.
So I got one more question for you. What what are substance laws up there like? I mean, obviously cannabis is legal, nicotine is legal, alcohol is legal. But like with Denver, Colorado decriminalizing magic mushrooms and Oregon decriminalizing pretty much everything, has there been any push for movements like that up in Canada?
Oh, definitely. I think as we're seeing it, like here's the thing, like the U.S. was like, nah, weed's illegal, right? Oh, cannabis is illegal, and
The war on hemp.
marijuana is illegal. That's what they would say, and then they say, oh, they legalized cannabis, medical cannabis, but marijuana is still illegal, right? And then it would only be in a few states, right? And then once it got to enough states, Canada was just like, yeah, fuck it. It's legal everywhere. You can bring it on planes, you can buy it from the store. Like they opened up dispensaries everywhere. But the thing is, actually, um, there's like 10 people. There's 10 groups of growers that grow for almost everybody. So it is another business that's being monopolized. And again, everyone just needs to grow their own weed and really stop caring about who tells you what. Fuck off. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm most scared of the pharmaceutical companies getting their hands on mushrooms. I'm just like, yeah, well, only the people with PhDs who, paid $100,000 and allowed themselves to, get indoctrinated into this system are going to be the people who are able to grow it. And everybody else is going to still go to jail for having it or growing it. And that doesn't make the problem better. Sure, it makes it more accessible, but you're just getting it from some other sleaze bags who's playing the game to make money and not to spread wellness and, you know.
No, I think dispensaries in Canada are soon going to have mushrooms.
Sure, sure, but I mean it'll still be through the same process of going through labs and, they're going to test it the way that they do. And as we've seen with cannabis, it's the potency has been going up and up and up and up with THC. You don't necessarily want that same thing. You don't want that with weed either, but you don't want that with mushrooms. You want an eighth to be an eighth. You don't want to take an eighth that's like, oh, yeah, it's 2% psilocybin in it versus like, oh, yeah, somehow we got this to be like 30% psilocybin, and an eighth is just like a fucking ounce and a half, and you don't know what you're doing because mushrooms are a very potent substance, whereas You can take a hit of weed and just be like, whoa, I'm tired. Or whoa, like I'm a little dizzy. Like mushrooms will
Sorry.
take you out. They will knock your ass down and you will meet God. So like it's just a little bit different. It's just a little bit different. You're taking a gram expecting just to see like the walls move a little bit, see things breathing, and then all of a sudden you're, meeting the devil or talking to God, and that's not what you were looking for. So it's just something that I'm scared about with pharmaceutical industries getting their hands on these types of things. But yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, I think it could be good for some people to meet the devil or meet God.
I think it's good for everybody to meet the devil and meet God. You can't understand God until you've met the devil, and you can't understand the devil until you've met God. Like, you've got to live both of those things in order to be able to understand either of them.
Hmm.
Other than that, is there any other art that you would like to showcase?
Yeah, sure. This is what my table looks like right now. If I could flip
We'll
the
get
camera
there.
around.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Just drawing.
What had inspired you to make this? What were your feelings, or what are your feelings now in making this piece?
Just doing what I love. I love doing it. Just drawing, keeping my hands moving, just feeling. It makes me feel joy. Just like when you're a little kid doing a coloring book. Like that's how I feel when I'm doing this.
I
It's
love that.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thanks, man.
So yeah, for those of you that don't know this man, his name is Josh. He makes some beautiful artwork. Lovely, lovely friend of mine. You should definitely check him out. I will post his links for his store in my description, and you will be able to find his page there, Josh Navazuski. I love it, man. Thank you.
Two, that's what you're supposed to say. I'll take a thank you though. You're welcome.
Oh, I said I love you. um, but yeah, that wraps up a lot of what I wanted to talk to you about today. I'd love to have you on in the future and chat about other things, especially as time goes on and our opinions change and the world changes around us. It would be great
Yeah,
to kind of keep up with this.
it would. And this is only podcast number 2. Noah, thank you for having me on. Sorry, I'm probably not the most entertaining guest right now. I'm new to the podcast thing. I don't really know what to talk about a lot of the time, but if you made it this far watching the video, thank you. I appreciate you. Like you are built different than anyone because you made it to the end of this video where we're talking about a bunch of random bullshit, and I hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, I hope you got something from it, and I hope that this podcast grows into being something beautiful, and maybe we can do this again, and it will be it will have thousands of people watching it, and they're gonna be stoked on it. Maybe we'll have some cool stuff to talk about too, and
Definitely.
yeah,
We'll just continue to be learning, and the more knowledge that we have, the more knowledge that we can share. So
honestly, if you have the knowledge, might as well share it.
that's why
Much
we have
love,
words.
one love, one time.
Well, thank you very much, Josh. It has been a joy, a pleasure, and I hope to talk to you in the future, my friend.
Yes, Noah. We'll chat again soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Josh.
See ya.